All right, I'm here with Risey, and I'm pretty angry, so I just gonna try to get through this. Why is this? Okay, I want to see who do we got here? Cornbread Man, Lorenzo. Let's see, all right, thanks for coming, guys. Um, First off, I want to say is I didn't pay for this garbage, so unlike Nerdrotic, I'm not actually supporting these fucking rapists here. As you see the thumbnail,
Wow.
that's basically what happened. So the last couple of months, Doomcock's been talking about this movie along with Cameron Pasha, and I've been listening to what they were saying and everything. And I see everybody giving Doomcock all of this shit, going, "Oh, Doomcock, you won't write, and you're always lying, and it rumors and all this." Everything that Doomcock has said happened in this movie. And I believe that they did change the ending on this. So let's get into this. The first I'd say 10 to 15 minutes of the movie are somewhat decent. This is the only positive thing I can say about this movie is the beginning part where it's a de-aged Harrison Ford where they're back in the 40s or so. And him and this guy
What's
that
up,
we
Ice Queen?
oh yeah, ice cream. Him and this guy that we've never seen before. I think there's a picture of him on here. Of course, they don't have the picture of the friend, but this him and his friend they're on this train and they're trying to get the Nazis have like this the spear that stabbed God or whatever. I forget what the spear is
Jesus.
called. Yeah, the Jesus spear.
Jesus. I forget what it's called, but I've heard of that
Yeah.
spear, yeah.
So uh Indy and this other guy, they're trying to get the spear from the Nazis on this train. And they end up capturing Indy on there. But then he gets loose, of course, and they're fighting, and it's this big fight on the train. And I think it's like towards the end of World War II because the train's being bombed by the Allies, and there's just this all this fighting going on, and there's these guys that on the back of the train, and they have like an anti-aircraft gun, and they're trying to take out these bombers, just bombing the fuck out of them and everything. So one of the bombs hits the anti-aircraft, and Indy and them are by it, and then they end up having to run back to the other end of the train because that the part where they were at was going to get like exploded or whatever. But the anti-aircraft gun is turning and shooting, so like they're laying on the ground, and the anti-aircraft gun is just taking out like most of the train and what Nazis are left on the train and everything. So they think like most of them are dead. And then this guy here, who's the main villain, this hardcore like Fourth Reich idiot, he somehow survives, and he's on the side of a train, and he's trying to shoot Indiana because Indy took this thing off the table, and the other guy, when they were running, trying to get out of there, they took this thing off the table because his friend was like, "This is Archimedes' dial. We can't let them have it." So he takes it, and then that guy just showed you. He's like, "Give me the dial. I'm going to shoot you." So Indy throws this bag at him, and then the guy. This is how stupid this is. The Nazi guy doesn't look behind him, and there's like a post or something by the train, and it hits this guy. And if this had happened in reality, this dude's head would have been taken off, man. There's no way this dude would have survived that. So you just see him get hit by this like post thing, and he flies off into the distance into these trees. Yeah, this is what I mean. I'm just like, wow, really? That guy would have lost his fucking head. So the other end of the train is still going, and they end up having to jump off because the Allies are just bombing the fuck out of this train. So they get off there by jumping into the lake. Him and his friend, they jump off this bridge into this lake, and they're like swimming away. And then it cuts to like 19. I think it's like 65 or whatever the moon landing was. It was by, I think it's 69, 68, 69. And that's when he meets this winner here. This gal is insufferable. She is just, I mean, you want to talk about sucking the oxygen out of a movie, man. So Indy's giving this like history course, and nobody in the
class. TJ.
Oh, it's TJ here?
Yeah, he's in the chat. He said he fixed his Discord, so I'm gonna send him an invite to my
Well, why is Nightbot saying this is a rerun? God damn it.
I was gonna bring that up. I just didn't want to cut you off.
Oh, God damn it. Let's see, Buckler. I've got it turned off. It shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why it's. Let me see here. I've got that warning off.
Do you remember what TJ used to go by on Discord? What did you used to go by, TJ?
I don't know. Let's see if I can just put that in timeout and get rid of that. Well, anyways, so he's back into like the 60s, and that's when he meets this gal at his class, his history class he's teaching, and all the students, like, they don't give a fuck about what he's teaching. It's really sad, and he's just like, this is gonna be on the test and all this, and the students are like, we don't give a shit. And then she's watching the class, and then after everybody leaves the class, she comes and laughs at him. She's like, oh, you got some excellent students there and all this. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like laughing at Indy and like giving him shit and everything. And then he's like, well, can I help you and all this? And she starts telling him like, you don't remember me and all this. And it's like, I don't. So then he goes to a bar, and then she goes to this bar, and she's like just hounding him, and she sits down, and he's like, what do you want from me? And she's like, well, I'm trying to be famous and all this. And she's just this clout chasing bitch. And she's like, look, I know that my father and you, when he died, were trying to get the Archimedes dial. And it's in this area. I know it's down here and all this. And we can go get it and be famous and all this. And then Indy's just looking at her. It's like, well, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And she's just like has this look like her clout was ruined or something. I mean,
yeah,
it was just so stupid. And then we have those. Let me get back to this. These other guys. This guy here. So this guy who's like, I can never figure out if this guy was CIA or what. But this is the worst acting in history by this guy. And this is the guy that was in Tron too. And he's basically doing a King of the Hill impression, the worst hick Arkansas accent I've ever seen in my life. So him and this lady are like CIA agents or whatever, and they're secretly working for the Nazi guy, but they're just like corrupt agents or whatever, and they're trying to follow this idiot because they think she has the dial, but Indy was the one who had the dial. He just lied about it and said that they lost it. So he opens it up and he's showing it to her, and she takes it and sits down with it. And then that CIA guy, the black lady, busts in, and she takes off with it and locks him out of his own building. And then Indy, I guess can't fight anymore because this is basically Gran Torino now. And he just knocks down a bunch of shells and runs off. He doesn't fight people anymore. It's just pathetic. It's just so pathetic, the whole thing. So most of the movie is this guy, the Nazi guy, chasing Indy and that stupid lady, and they're trying to get the dial thing. And then this idiot who the whole time is telling Indiana that, oh, well, you're a grave robber and you steal from indigenous people and you're not a good person and all this bullshit. And what does she do? She goes and sells the fucking dial at an auction. It's just so stupid, man. The whole time she's harassing Indy, going, "Oh, you're this immoral person and all this, and you suck, and I'm this like highly moral person because I'm gonna go sell the dial." He said his
Yeah.
name was TJ Dopeness.
Dopeness. Yeah, I sent you a friend request. You got to accept my friend request before it'll let me message you.
Phoebe, an annoying bitch in a Disney movie. I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? You're a Hick Hargrave? No, I'm not. Uh, what is this? The fuck kind of makeup is that on the black chick? Oh, I'm gonna go back and look at that. Here. Wakanda forever. Oh, sorry, it's the wrong movie.
Shit.
Well, the funny thing is this guy, they make him extra racist in the movie. So at the beginning, there's this scene where he's in the hotel and there's this black servant guy that comes in. And the black servant guy, like for some reason, you can tell he just hates this guy. And then he asked the waiter guy, he's like, were you in the war? Did you fight for the Allies and all this? And the guy's like, oh yeah, I was airborne and I parachuted into Berlin and all this. And then he's like, the Nazis didn't lose the war. Hitler lost the war. And then the guy's just looking at him like, okay, like what's your problem, you fucking Nazi prick? And then the guy leaves and he says something. I can't remember the other thing. He said there was some racist thing about a camp or something. And then when this gal dies on the plane, he throws her out of the plane and says we wouldn't bother with their kind in the camps. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, really? Okay. So, like I said, the rest of it is just them doing, running around trying to find the thing, and they go to the bottom of the ocean to get the thing, and it's just a bunch of MacGuffin bullshit. They're just running around like chickens with their head off, and the Nazi guy keeps trying to find them and find them. Then at the end, the Nazi guy, he finally gets the other piece of that's the other thing. The dial is like a time machine thing that this is how stupid this is, man. The Nazis believed that it was a time machine that they could set to go where they want to go. In reality, the time machine only takes them back to 2 BC to Archimedes when he made it. That's the only time they can go back to. So Indy figures this out towards the end when they're getting ready to go through the time machine thing. So they go through, and the Nazi guy's like, you see, Mr. Jones, I beat you, and now I am going to be the new Hitler and all this. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I set it for 1939, and my other self right now is at a V2 test that I had sabotage but went awry. So I'm going to go and tell my other self to fix it where it kills Hitler, but I'm going to take both of us away from there. And then I'll take over the Reich and fix all the wrongs. And I'm like, really? How is that going to work? I just, why does this keep doing this?
I don't know. It likes fucking with you though, doesn't it?
Turn this. Just gonna just gonna turn it off. I'm gonna remove it from the channel for right now. Wait a second. So it's worse than Crystal Skull. Oh yeah, man, it's way fucking worse. This actually makes Crystal Skull look good. Think about what I'm saying on
Fucking
that.
hell.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, and the other thing is, so this is the CGI or young Indy. This is how lazy and stupid Disney is. So he's talking, looking like this, but it sounds like an 80-year-old Harrison Ford. They couldn't be fucked to fix the voice or make him sound younger. So it's a young Indiana Jones talking, but the voice of an 80-year-old Indiana Jones with the raspy voice. Oh, you guys aren't Nazis, aren't you? You're gonna get the dial. Blah blah blah. Fucking bullshit, man. No, wait. We're getting to the good part. So when they go through the fissure thing or the time machine thing or whatever that bullshit is, and that villains guy's telling them about there's going to be a Fourth Reich and all this stuff. Indy's looking out the window, and he can see that there's these ships fighting, and the Nazi guy thinks it's like Normandy or like a pre-invasion or something. And he starts looking at the flags closely and everything, and he goes, "I told you before we went in here, there's a continental drift. The continents are different than what they are now." And then the Nazi guy starts looking out the window, and they're all looking out the window. And you see these people shooting catapults and all this and blowing up these ships, and Spartans attacking the beach and all this stuff. And Indy's laughing at the guy. He's like, "I tried to tell you this." And then the girl, our hero savior, who flew, well, she didn't fly, she got a bike and ran up to the landing gear and climbed aboard the ship while it took off. Sneaks in there, and she comes upon a group of Nazis sitting there with guns, and they go and aim it at her. And she pulls this trigger, and it's like a bomb door, and then like 10 to 15 of them just fly out and die. And then she puts the bomb door back up, and then they come back there. And then this guy, let me go back here. This guy, who I'm not sure if he was an actual Nazi or a white supremacist idiot or what his deal is, he freaks the fuck out and grabs this like big gun, and he starts shooting out the side of this ship, this gunship, and he's just killing all these Spartans on the beach and everything, and it's just retarded. He's just killing tons and tons of Spartans by the thousands, and he's like, "If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna take these bastards with me." So this
What the fuck did they do?
yeah, it's just stupid. So the meantime, the Fourth Reich guy, I don't know why he didn't tell the pilots to fly away from this. Instead, he tells them to keep circling this fight going on. So everybody on the ground starts shooting these ballista things at the plane, and some of them are hitting the plane, and these gigantic spears are going inside of the plane. But God forbid we fly away from this. No, we're not going to do that, because that would be the smart fucking thing to do. And then Indy is still laughing at this guy, and he's like, "You're going to have quite the wait for your Reich, being that it's 2 BC and all." So this final ballista thing hits an engine, and the ship starts going down. So Indy goes to bail out with the insufferable savior here, and they both have a parachute, and they land on the beach. And then Archimedes himself comes up to them, and he sees the dead Nazis and everything, and he's like, what is all this? And he's looking at all this stuff like he doesn't understand it. And then Indy realizes that he was the one that caused them to, well, I wouldn't say he caused it, but they all caused the,
The time paradox.
yeah, for it to happen. So now here is where they changed the movie. So a little bit earlier, Indy gets shot in the shoulder. It's like nothing like critical or anything, but he's acting like he's dying. Like you really think he's gonna die up to this one point. And I think that was the original ending that Doomcock was talking about, where they had him replaced with his younger self. Because it's really weird. Like he's dying, and then it just cuts to him like he's perfectly fine. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he lands on the ground and he gets up and he's like fine and everything. He's just like, he just looks like mostly tired. So they're able to talk to Archimedes in his ancient language or whatever, and he's explaining all this. And Archimedes takes the complete, hold on a sec.
What's up, Chris? What's up, Huawei?
Goddamn fucking cough killing me. So Archimedes takes the completed dial from the dying Nazi, the Fourth Reich guy, and he's looking at it. And then Indy, now this is where it gets, I don't understand their reasoning or anything. Indy starts telling her, oh, by the way, there's this other kid that just magically happened to be able, her little like short round guy, take a plane while they're doing all this and fly into there so they have a way out. That seemed like that might happen. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say, what are they stuck there? Is that how the? Oh, what a
Well,
load of
yeah,
shit!
because you're watching this and you're like, how the fuck did that happen? Like he just knew how to fly a plane and he brought it in there. So he goes and lands by them. He's like, oh, hey, Indy, look at this. I just happen to have a plane and we can leave now. Oh, whoop-de-doo. What a coincidence. So Indy says to the British cunt, you get out of here. Just go and leave. Leave me here. There's so much I can do here. And I'm like thinking, what the fuck are you going to do in 2 BC? Why would you want to be there? Well, what does Antonio Barris and okay, he's related to Sala, I think, his friend, the guy that's in Raiders of the Lost Ark, because Sala sets him up with this boat ride, and Antonio Banderas is the guy that runs this like tugboat that can bring them down to the ocean, because they had to go down there for some reason because they thought part of the dial was down there, but it was just a fake tablet thing that Archimedes was trolling with or something. And then Indy later on figures out that if you pour, because it had, what is it, like wax on it or something, he figured out if he poured alcohol and burnt it, that the wax would burn away and reveal something. Well, it reveals this gold plate thing that tells them where the other one is, the other piece of this time machine thing. So now they know where to get the other piece of the time machine thing from that. Oh yeah, the Fourth Reich idiot, he shoots Antonio Banderas for no reason. That's retarded. There's a lot of retarded bullshit in this movie, man. Like so anyways, Indy's like, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna change history, blah blah. And then that stupid bitch is like, oh no, you got to come back with me so I can annoy the fuck out of you and become you in the future or whatever, like their stupid plan, whatever it was. So Indy's like almost crying, and he's like, well, I have nothing to go back to. Marion left me. Boo hoo. Boo fucking who. I might as well just stay here and do 2 BC. And do what? What the fuck is he going to do in 2 BC?
Fuck the
Why
same
would you
thing
want to
Captain
stay
America
there?
did.
It's 2 BC. You don't have any health care. You don't have cars. You got nothing. Zero. You'd be lucky to even have fucking clothes back then. Just like, what the fuck is this shit? No, she doesn't leave him. Get this. Indy turns his head to look at the kid who says something to him. And then he turns around and she punches him and knocks him out. She punches
Oh.
Indy and knocks him out and then drags him into the plane and they fly the plane back to the 60s.
I'm so glad I'm not a Gindi. Oh god. Wow. Talk away about demasculating a man, right? Holy shit. You turned him into a bitch, and then you turned him into a bigger bitch. Fuck me, man.
I'm just
Wow.
so sick of these fucking people destroying this shit. So then they get back to the 60s, and then the British cunt is sitting on this couch lecturing Indy about how stupid he is and all that. It's just the same routine, the same bullshit we seen before. That the man is stupid and she's a genius and all this, and if it weren't for her, that he would be stuck there and all this. And then get this. Indy is still angry that she didn't leave him there. Why in the fuck would you want to be in 2 BC?
Well, because he wanted his bones to end up in a museum. My bones belong in a museum, bitch! And then he shoots her dead. That should have been the end of the film.
Oh, there was a part where the Nazi guy threatened to shoot her, and I was like, please do it, please do it, please, I'm begging you, kill this fucking cunt, do it.
Don't even say you're gonna do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I would have said, I don't give a fuck about her. All she does is annoy me and tell me I'm stupid. Fuck her. She could die. If she's so powerful, she can get out of this. What happened? I thought you were a powerful man. Why do you got a gun to your head? Oh no, what happened? Fucking bitch. Fuck that bitch, man.
Ain't so witty with your brains all over the floor, are ya?
This is the worst fucking actress in history, man.
Holy shit.
She
she looks
just
like a
sucks ass. She's not likable at all. It's the powerful whammon bit all over again. And all she does is berate him. It's exactly what Doomcock said, man. Doomcock was 100% right, man.
Oh,
Out of
Jesus
all of it.
Christ. Fucking Diesel here says I'm the only one that finds Phoebe hot.
Oh, God.
Is it Phoebe? Is that how? Am I pronouncing that right?
Oh, yeah. Marion leaves him at the beginning, and he's doing the Gran Torino bit. Like he's fighting with his neighbors and stuff. It's exactly like Gran Torino.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
like,
I want to see it just for that part.
like, turn down that music. I fought the war, you know. I fought actual Nazis and all this. And they're like, we don't give a fuck what you did, old man. She's working on that Tomb Raider. Oh, God.
Shit.
You're not too wordy. Your brain's lying on the floor. I'm going to remember that one. That was good. Thank you. Sheesh. Let's see here. Amit, she is hot. Let's see.
So
here.
is there any like
She is hot
like
as fuck.
butterfly effects of them going back in time, or is
Why
it
does
just
he-
that they realize that they caused the paradox?
No, they don't explain anything. It's just they come back. Well, at the beginning, it shows like Indy, like Gran Torino. Oh, that was the other thing. They forced him to retire too. That was bullshit. They're like, "Oh, this is your retirement." And he's like, "Oh, really? Gee, thanks."
Wait,
I'm like,
architecture's a job? I thought that was just like a hobby thing.
"Oh,
Like you got
archaeology."
famous. Yeah,
Archaeology,
yeah,
yeah.
fuck, not architecture. That's fucking wrong thing. Archaeology. Thank you.
No, I
Yeah, I
don't.
thought that. I
I'm
just thought that's what
boycotting
rich
anything
people
with
did.
this bitch, man. I fucking hate this bitch.
Fully
Oh,
bag
and
on
the other
Amazon
thing
Prime.
too on here, they use fucking Star Wars music on here, and I'm like, what the fuck
Oh
is
yeah,
this shit?
yeah. What was it? You said they
But
had the pod racing
yeah, they had the
track.
pod racing music from Phantom Menace. So the music goes da 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 da. You know that pod racing music? They have the pod racing music when they're chasing in those. Oh, that was the other thing. Those little three-legged go-karts. Let's see if they show it on here. That go-kart chase thing. I don't think those can go. Hey, Amit, you're in fucking India, aren't you? Can those things go 60 to 75 miles an hour? They were outrunning a car in that thing at one point. I'm like, this is bullshit. I don't think they can go that fast.
You wouldn't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
you'd think it would have to have a seatbelt if something goes that fast. But then again, I don't know what they do in India.
Oh, you know the other thing too was that this poor kid,
What's
man.
that thing? No, that's just a motorcycle. That kid?
This
He
poor
looks like
kid. So
looks like a token. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Okay,
you get to see her ass and tits. No, I'm good. After what I saw with J Law, with Jennifer Lawrence, I'm fine. I can look at that if anybody decides to send me a certain alien pic that I don't want. I can
Oh,
just look at
Jesus
Jennifer Lawrence.
Christ. Yeah, Emmett says 55 at the max.
Yeah, that's what I thought because they were outrunning a fucking Rolls Royce, and I'm like, what is this shit? It's just stupid. Well, anyways, this kid on here, he gets kidnapped, and I laughed at this part. And Indy just goes, just leave him, he'll be fine. And I laughed at that because they didn't give a fuck about this kid. And the stupid British lady's like, oh, you're a real son of a bitch for leaving him and all this. And then Indy's just like, they took him for hostage. We'll get him back later. And it was so funny because it's like he just totally owned her in that convo.
He's like, I've read the script, bitch. He doesn't die.
Yeah. He'll go
See,
and fly a plane after we go through the time thing. It's like, what?
oh, he's the one that picks him up. All right.
Yeah. Hey guys, I just figured out how to fly a plane through a wormhole in time. You guys ready to go? Like,
Yeah,
what?
actually, yeah, he's a bit fucking young to know how to fly a fucking plane. He looks like he got his first pube like a year or two ago.
Yeah, this thing here's what I was talking about. These things can't
That!
outrun
Oh,
a car.
fuck off!
Yeah. Yeah. They're saying this can outrun a car. I'm not kidding you. The people
oh
in the
my
car.
God.
Yeah, the people in the car are complaining. They're like, step on it, get them. He's like, I've got my foot to the floor. And I'm like, what? Do the aliens come back in this movie? No, God, I wish they did. Hervé, they don't explain why they got a divorce other than I think it was the Shia LaBeouf died going to Vietnam because they talk about that, and I'm not sure if that caused the divorce or what. But at
So
the
that's
end,
how they write off Shia LaBeouf. That's awesome.
yeah, he just dies in Vietnam.
Not letting Shia LaBeouf come back. He's too crazy.
Yeah. So at the end,
They should have had it that he became a Nixon fanatic or something. Nixon
I
was
don't
in
know.
office around that point in one stage, wasn't he?
Tuck, we call them. But anyways, at the end, Marion shows up and she's like putting food away and all this. And then Indy gets out of bed and the stupid British cunt is still there. And she's talking to them and it's just meaningless crap. And then Indy's like, why are you here, Marion? I thought we were getting a divorce and all this. And then she rips off Raiders of the Lost Ark. And she's like, well, I had a fall coming up here. And he goes, well, where does it hurt? And then she points to her elbow. And it's the reverse scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark where she's kissing him where it hurts or whatever. And that was the ending. and then they show her
Yeah.
leaving the building. Now, this is how you know they changed the ending, because she goes to the window and she's looking at something, but you can't see what it is. And then she decides to go to the door to leave. And then they pan up and show the outside of the window, and it's Indy's hat. And Indy grabs the hat back. So it's like they realized that they pissed people off with that original ending and they overdid it. They're like, oh, we got to make sure you show the hat, and he gets the hat back, and we got to make the point that she's not it and everything. And it was just so obvious, man. It just, yeah, that's basically what it was a Johnny Quest movie. We got to get this MacGuffin. We got to get that MacGuffin. We got to get this one. Oh, now we have the MacGuffin together. Oh no, the Nazis got it. Oh well, I'm gonna stay in 2 BC for no reason at all, just because I'm a pathetic fuck now and all this. And Marion left me. It's like, what? Just a total fucking piece of shit, man. God awful. God awful fucking movie. And you know the weird thing is I would bet good money that those first 10 to 15 minutes of them on the train and all of that were from a different script or movie or something, because you notice the difference from the cutback scene to modern times. It's like at the beginning they're going, here's what you're used to. Remember this? Remember Indy fighting Nazis? Well, look at Indy now. He's banging on these losers' door with a baseball bat doing Gran Torino. You're like, what? And here she is.
Oh, I got the COVID masks. Oh,
Here,
that's your
here,
best friend, right?
yeah. Here's the person who has to get their self put in every fucking movie. An annoying fucking cunt. This fucking bitch, man. I don't know how she has a. How does she have a fucking job?
She knows where all the skeletons are buried.
She must know where Jimmy fucking Hoffa is.
She knows fucking something. Oh man, I hate that fucking actor. That little weasel guy. God,
Yeah,
he's
that's his. That's supposed to be his best friend that we've never
oh
seen in
god.
any indie movie ever, except for this. Risey's best friend is Smelly Haji.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
This all sounds just awful. Thank you for watching first and taking one for the team. This scrapbook style of making movies is not working out. No. The whole movie feels like two different movies. Like I said, the first part of the movie where they're in the 40s feels like they were making some other movie, and then they stepped in and said, no, we need to make Gran Torino with Indiana Jones. Amit, I don't care if that chick is buck naked. I fucking hate
I'm
her with
not
a
watching
passion.
anything called Fleabag either. You know
She
that's
is.
something degenerate.
Well, they got it right. She is a flea bag. She's a piece of shit. Anyways, I don't know what else to say. It's just god fucking awful, man. The first 15, the first 10 to 15 minutes though, I'll say are decent when they show the flashback of the train fight, because that I think they did that to like get you stuck into the movie going, oh wow, this is the Indiana Jones I'm used to. Look, it's young Indy and he's fighting Nazis again. Oh, this guy got his head hit by a railing and flew up into a tree and somehow lived. Like, what? You guys have not seen Johnny Quest? Haji? Oh yeah, I've okay. I know what he's talking about now. The kid that goes bend
Ah,
them, follow
fucking
them.
yeah. Well, I was a fucking kid, dude. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not gonna get a Johnny Quest fucking reference. Jesus, I know the fucking name of the show. Little fucking blonde kid with a fucking Indian best friend and his dad in adventures. I think they had a monkey or something. I don't know. I can't fucking remember. No, I think it was a dog. I think they had a dog. It was a monkey or a dog. It was one of those two.
Now, what I don't understand is the plot with that fucking Fourth Reich guy. How is killing Hitler with a V2 accident gonna get him promoted to being it would replace Hitler or whatever? How would
Mm.
that work? Hitler wouldn't. Doesn't Hitler have somebody like a second in command or something? It wasn't that guy because that guy was a scientist. He wasn't an officer or anything. He was a fucking scientist. He just made rockets. And he thinks he's going to be the new Reich guy and replace Hitler with what? Some wannabe right supremacist redneck guy? Like, really?
Well, you know what I find interesting is just that why if they like sounds like they could take shit back with them in time, and even though it wasn't to the time period he thought, instead of like this bullshit particular part, why not just take a bunch of like dope ass technology back in time with you, give that shit to Hitler, or you just blow Hitler away and then show someone like a fucking smartphone, say that you're the fucking goddamn new god that came down. That's how you get the new Nazis to fall in line. Then you also have a bunch of history books. I mean, you can't use the internet because it doesn't exist yet, but you just, copy and paste that shit onto your smartphone. You're like, all right, Allied forces came in from here at
Well,
this point. All right, I've got these new fucking type of bombs and shit. Allieds have never even fucking seen. Put all that shit there. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of work, but I mean, it's a lot easier than going back and try to take over with politics.
well, here's a better storyline. Why didn't he take it and go into our time and then get modern day tech and then have Indy go to our time right now? That would have been like 1,000 times better. And then try to go back. But the plot hole is that the time machine doesn't work. It just goes
Oh
back.
yeah, shit. No, I just seen the flaw in my plan. Yeah, I forgot this isn't set in our time. It's set in their time
Yeah.
back then. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, the smartphones don't fucking exist at this time. Sorry, ugh, dumbass.
Well, I would probably rate this -1. I fucking hate this movie with a passion, man. It was just spliced together garbage with fucking Star Wars music in it. I don't even think they played the whole Indiana Jones song one time in it, which was hilarious
Hey,
because
what's
they
up,
brought
Goblin?
because they brought Kathleen Kennedy on stage to embarrass her to listen to the Indiana Jones theme, and then they don't even have it in the fucking movie. Like, what? Hey, here's the pod race song from Phantom Menace, Member Berries.
Yeah, which doesn't really work because it's from the wrong fucking franchise.
I just I just don't know, man. But Nerdrotic made a good point though. They have nothing left to destroy now. This was their final thing. They
Yeah,
she just
they're
yeah.
the
They
last
just yeah.
bastion, as so to speak. What's that thing in Star Trek say? The last voyage or some shit.
Oi F Hollywood. They eat kids' brains.
Yeah, fuck them.
Tree Goblin. The Temple of Doom is kind
Temple.
of oh no, you haven't seen anything. What this guy says to this black waiter guy, and when he throws this black chick out of the plane, man, it's like wow.
See, I've never actually finished one of these movies except for The Crystal Skull. I've seen parts in most of them, but I've always fallen asleep. It's just Harrison Ford just bores the shit out of me, man. Sounds like he kind of reminds me of like when I was a kid and my uncle would be like, "No, you can't watch these movies. They're not for kids." And I'd be like, "That's why I want to watch them, dude."
He can't even fight the people. He just runs away now. He spent all the movie running away from them. It was just like, why don't you just fight these people? It's just stupid.
Yeah, shoot someone, man. You don't even have to fight. Use a gun. You're American. Look at this person's fucking. Imagine that. He gets fucking cast in a fucking movie. I'm in IMDb. Yeah, and as what? The young SS soldier. Scroll back down to the bottom of the cast here. There. Francis Chapman, played young SS officer. Yeah, mum and dad. My character's called young SS officer. It's my first big fucking summer fucking time franchise blow up movie. Playing young SS officer. Shit, man. I'm sorry, I'm extremely high. It's probably not that funny.
Well, I think this movie is going to tank fucking horribly, man. I mean, the other thing too is this movie is like very fucking. Oh, here we go.
Hey, what's up?
My favorite YouTube panel: a man who sounds like a malfunctioning Casio keyboard having sex with a depressed cat, and a guy who tried to smoke bird shit. Jesus.
Ah. Wait, can you get high off bird shit? I never tried that. They
I'm
still
gonna
have Pulp Fiction to
I'm,
remake.
I'm gonna pretend I
Yeah,
didn't
but
hear that.
that's not a franchise. I wouldn't really class that like things that are like franchises. You know, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. What are the other things? Star Trek, fucking Marvel, DC. You know, these are all franchises, like childhood things that males grew up watching, wanting to be. You know, and then a bunch of fucking middle-aged fucking bitches with their menopause and young bitches that want to identify as men came along and fucked it for everyone.
I want to play this salute to this movie. That
What do you
says it
play?
all. I played
You didn't
this.
play anything.
You didn't see it?
No, we see nothing.
Okay, how about now?
There we go. And
There should be a
dumpster
dump.
fire going down.
Yeah.
What the fuck was in that dumpster? Because it was pissing down rain in that picture.
All right, here we go. I'll play it again.
Obviously, it's that movie. Is that even a real picture?
Yeah, it's a real
I mean,
thing.
yeah, is it a real thing or has the flames been added? Because I've seen that thing used for
All right, we'll
memes a
look one more
billion
time here.
times.
Let's see.
I mean, they could be real, but I don't know.
I
See,
can't
so much
tell.
shit. Yeah, so much shit you see these days that look real, and I'm like, someone's like, no, that's fake, Rozzy. I'm like, oh. Well, now I feel like the idiot.
Let's see. We still have Pulp Fiction to remake. Oh God.
Yeah, but like I said, man, that's not a franchise. So even if they do that, I mean,
Well, I sincerely hope that this gets old Kathleen fired, who's way overdue for a firing, because this was just this was the worst Indiana Jones ever, man. Gran Torino. That's what it felt like. Well
Wong
hung.
and Dunn says it's fake, fat dumbass. What? Look, fuck you, man. I was asking. That's what I was asking.
It's fake, dumbass.
Hargrave didn't know either.
Yeah, I didn't know either. In all honesty, I didn't look too closely because it's a here. Well, let's play it one more time, and we'll put it on loop so we can see it a couple of times. Yeah. Let me put the loop thing on.
Well,
Where's
the only
that?
reason, yeah, I was like, it has to be fake because, like, if it's pouring down rain like that enough that it's flooding, like, what the fuck is in that dumpster?
I have too many goddamn clips here. What the fuck is it?
Don't forget, a new Flash Gordon movie is out soon. Holy shit. Man, they're really running out of fucking ideas, eh? I still can't believe fucking Craven the Hunter is getting a fucking movie. Like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck?
Where the fuck
How
did
do
that
these
clip go?
shits get...
Oh, here it is.
Here it is.
Okay, now that I've seen it this much.
Yeah, you can see it's fake.
Okay.
But to be fair, it's also not raining either. Just thought it was because it was a flood.
And a new
And
Conan
a new
movie.
Conan movie. Oh god, yeah. Well, it's about time for one. They bring out a new one every 10, 15 years now. I mean, shit. Some stuff should just stay buried.
Look at this, 7 of 10. Believe that shit?
Yeah, well, like I said to you, man, I don't trust these fucking rating sites. I mean, I like to use IMDb, but I don't use it for a rating system. Just use it to see what other fucking if someone's been in a film or not.
I'm liking those new Witchers so far. The first episode is pretty fucking badass, man. And he's just taking fucking heads off all over the place.
Yeah, what was it? You messaged me. I read it just as I was waking up. Something about Cavill's still in it. Is that
Yeah,
right?
he's still in this season, I guess. Apparently, the next season is when he leaves.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll watch it then. Because I did see it advertised last night on Flicktor, and then I was like, I thought about watching it, and I was like, nah, I want to fall asleep or like watch something good. I don't want to go to sleep angry at fucking Witcher. So
All
remember, I
right,
didn't even give a fuck. Sorry, dude.
all right, no, all right, everybody. I can't talk about this garbage anymore, man. Fuck this movie. The main thing that ruined this movie is the British cunt mainly, but also Indy does nothing but run on this movie. He don't fucking hardly fight at all. He's just running the whole movie, just running. MacGuffin, running, MacGuffin. Oh, we're in 2BC. I want to hang out here. I don't want to go home. No explanation why, except that he's going to stay there because he doesn't have Miriam or Mary or whatever her name is. Fuck this movie, man. All right. Let's see. Amit Rena, Well Hung, Chris Longfellow, Tree Goblin, Ice Queen, Hervey, Cornbread Man. TJ, thanks for coming, TJ. Lorenzo, that's it. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye
Oh,
bye.
thank you for coming, Resi, too. I forgot to mention you. Thanks for coming. All right, everybody. Bye.